Basketball isn't easy. All my life, I've been striving to make myself better. It's a full-time commitment. To be the best,
This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Welcome, folks. I'm Damon Bruce. It's Tuesday Hoops, and it's next. It's the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Miami Heat. And now let's toss it over to Kevin Harlan with the rest of the 2K crew. I'll catch you at the break.
We make it cool to be something. We make it cool to...
It's the NBA. A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. First for San Antonio, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the power forward position. And for Miami, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the power forward. The 3 from LeBron.
Well, LeBron James was probably his best season statistically a year ago. I don't think there's any question about it, guys. I mean, certainly it was his most efficient offensive season. I mean, he had career highs of 56% shooting from the floor and 41% from long range. I don't know if we've seen a player of his size put together those kinds of numbers with the types of shots that he takes. I mean, just absolutely stunning what he did in terms of his efficiency last season.
Now here's Green, out to Parker. Hits the jumper in space. Parker's got the first points up on the board for San Antonio.
That bounce pass got him the ball in rhythm. Nice play.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I spoke briefly with Eric Spoelstra. With the amount of titles and rings the Spurs have racked up in their careers, Coach admitted it could be a little intimidating playing against them. He said Duncan is an instant Hall of Fame guy, and that can scare teams. We have to be fearless and play just like they are any other team, any other extremely talented team. Easier said than done, guys.
Thank you, Doris. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. And for LeBron James this season before last, he really focused on scoring in the post. You know, Steve, using his size and strength.
And we've seen his field goal percentage climb as a result. The low post work, I think the selection, too, he shoots fewer three-pointers, but a higher percentage. So now, you know, how do you guard the guy? He's got everything in the package.
Now here's Parker. After Dwayne Wade's miss, here's Duncan, and he slams it one-handed.
Rudely thrown down after the offensive rebound. He is ramped up now.
He is, you're right, and you figure this game might come down to a few of those effort plays.
Always does, Kevin.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Seems like that kind of a contest tonight.
Here's Wade after the basket by San Antonio. Great D that time from Green.
Not looking good for him so far. 4 straight misses to start the game. You know, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last season, guys, was that they were able to finish games strong. You think a group of vets might run out of gas, but the opposite was true with this group. They turned it up down the stretch and were one of the most productive teams in the league in terms of fourth quarter points.
Shot's good.
That's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. He feeds it to LeBron. Beyond the arc. That's good. Well, Clark, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last year in the fourth was because they have so many options when possessions, you know, Steve, start getting critical and the game is tight.
Well, no question. You've got Parker to create off the dribble. You can always throw it into the low post to Duncan. But on top of that, you've got a roster full of guys who understand how to play the game and know how to play each other. Just the experience that this group has gained together over the years, I think allows them to execute under pressure. Their whole defense is better just with him being out there, Kevin. His ability to know exactly what's going on, to communicate, to be in the right position. And he's a great example for his teammates to follow.
And we can't forget to mention his rebounding now. When you watch him, just keep an eye on the way he battles in the paint when a shot goes up.
Shane Battier is checked in for Miami.
I tell you, Tim Duncan turned back the clock last season, didn't he? One of his best in years, and one of his best seasons ever when it comes to blocking shots. For a guy who doesn't get a whole lot of elevation, it's his timing that allows him to be a shot blocker without bouncing real high.
You know, back to Duncan, Steve, you could make a credible argument that with the exception of Larry Bird, no player in NBA history has been more successful while blessed with fewer hops. I mean, I don't know if you'd say he's athletic.
You're right. I mean, he's not real athletic, but, man, the skill, the savvy, just the incredible knowledge of the game. One of the great players of all time.
Just such a pro.
Yeah.
You know, just such a pro. And both free throws good for LeBron.
You know, no denying it's been a heck of a run the last few years for the Heat, but you can't help but wonder if the impending 2014 summer of free agency could be the end of it all. The big three came together in a flash of lightning, it seemed, but it could end just as fast if one or all decide to opt out.
He was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Green, the pass to Splitter. And it's Miami with the rebound. And Clark, as you were saying, the trio of LeBron, Wade, and Bosh all have options in their contracts to become free agents in 2014 if they choose to. And, Steve, you have to think that at least 1 or 2 of them might exercise that right.
Well, you know LeBron will, because he's the most underpaid athlete probably in the history of sports. He's worth 10 times what he makes. But it's going to be interesting to see what Miami does here the next couple of years with their roster.
And here is Parker. After LeBron James hitting the three, Parker dishes to Splitter. Howard down after the assist, let him into the lane. There it is, guys, that Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. DL comes in for Tim Duncan. And it's Ginobili in for Kawhi Leonard. To the inside. A nice shot by Anderson. 1:29 left in the first quarter of the game.
Well, I tell you what, Greg Popovich, a really impressive leader for the Spurs. He's able to keep all of his players locked into what's best for the team. Has a military background, played basketball and studied at the Air Force Academy before serving 5 years in the Air Force. And You know some of the leadership that he brings to his position was learned from his past experiences.
Here's LeBron after the made shot from Anderson. And there's the call on Ginobili. That is his first foul of the game. 1:07 left to play in the first quarter. Allen's shot is off. And Clark, you mentioned Pop's time at the Air Force Academy. That's where he got his start in the coaching ranks.
Yeah, 6 years as an assistant there. He was head coach at Pomona, an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors and the Spurs. And eventually moved into the front office in San Antonio. But wow, what an amazing run it's been for him. 17 years as the head coach of the Spurs.
Here's LeBron. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Pass to Parker. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Parker's got 6 points.
And his shots are dropping right now. This quarter has been very kind to him.
It's LeBron with the drive. Shoots from the right block. That's good.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always.
For San Antonio, they've gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. And Bellinelli kicks to Diaw. Pass to Bellinelli. The dish to Diaw. Feeds it to Bellinelli. Shot clock at 6. Parker passes to Bellinelli. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
Wow, this has been a thriller. I mean, the way these teams are battling, just going back and forth.
Would you like to bet that this game may end on a buzzer beater? How much would you bet?
Well, it's been a high-scoring, competitive game. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Spurs.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And I like the physical play we're seeing, too, because this is a club that's really pounding the paint area and scoring inside.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, as you know, gentlemen, Greg Popovich is one of the foremost practitioners of the intentional fouling that sends poor free throw shooters to the line. Not exactly a fan favorite, and Pop says, quote, I think it's ugly, I think it's awful, but it's legal, it's there. If somebody doesn't want to get hacked, they should shoot free throws better. Guys, he's all about winning. Whether it's pretty or ugly, he doesn't care.
They wear you down, Doris. Thank you so much.
And what an amazing run it was for the Spurs last year in the postseason. Swept the Lakers, survived Golden State, and then dismantled Memphis on their way to the NBA Finals. And then, of course, we're seconds away from another championship banner.
San Antonio trailing here. Parker, right side. Manu Ginobili on the wing. Hits the front of the rim and out. Well, getting back to the Spurs, they look better and better as they went deeper into the playoffs, Clark. Heat were thought to be the heavy favorites at the start of the NBA postseason. But when they met in the finals, thoughts on who would win, I think, were pretty much split.
Yeah, and eventually, this was one heck of a series because the Spurs not only had experience and talent, but they had multiple options offensively and did such a terrific job sharing the ball. They took the Miami Heat to the limit, but at the end of the day, it came down to LeBron James and Dwayne Wade rising to the challenge.
Boy, he is a strong finisher on the fast break.
Yeah, he sure is. He remains in total control, even at full speed. I love that about him.
Spurs passing it around. Here's the 3. Gets it to go. Ginobili's got 6.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Well, LeBron is far enough along now in his career where you can start to project some of his career stats, and they're staggering. I mean, he could end up the first player ever to end up with 30,000 points, 10,000 assists, and 10,000 rebounds. I mean, that's remarkable.
Parker outside. Dishes it to Diao. A fader. And it's good off the back rim and in. And the Spurs lead by 1. And when you talk about LeBron's ability to pile up stats, whether it's scoring, or rebound, or passing, Clark, he can do it all.
He really can. He's dominant in every facet of the game. And we love his durability and his stamina. He is a stat sheet stuffer supreme. And that's the highest level of stat sheet stuffing you can have. And he's at the pinnacle of the peak.
Well said. He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
Now, last season, he made good on about 3 of every 4 free throws, almost exactly 75%.
And both free throws good for LeBron.
Well, when you have the best record in the league, you're going to be the most dominant, one of the most dominant teams at home. The Heat just destroyed people down in Miami, and only the Denver Nuggets had more wins at home than the Heat did.
Duncan with the bucket. No shortage of drama here early on.
Well, neither team can grasp control of this thing. I mean, both teams trying to get a hold of it.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, yeah, 8 lead changes already. Well, that's a big number this early in the game. So we're in for a treat tonight. This is a competitive matchup.
LeBron, he's guarded by Diao. Battier kicks to Cole. It's back to Battier. Allen. And there's the pass to Cole. Off target from three-point range. And how crazy is that from the Heat to win as many games as they did last season, but still be second in the league in home wins? Still, we're far and away number 1 at home in the East.
Well, yeah, the Knicks were the closest team in the East, but they still had 6 fewer wins at home than Miami. But the Heat really just did what they had to do to put themselves in position to go on to their 2nd NBA title in a row.
And that one's good. And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. And the Spurs with some changes. Splitters checked in for Diao. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Green in for Bellinelli. Parker kicks to Splitter. They double him with LeBron.
Inside 2 minutes. Inside goes.
And stolen by Chalmers. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Hi, guys. Well, LeBron James' game is so well-rounded, you might forget that he led the league in scoring back in 2008. He said, I've done that before. I'm capable of doing it, but that's not my job here. My job is to do a lot of everything, rebounding, passing, and defending. Guys, his versatility and completeness as a basketball player is what makes him so incredible to watch.
He can do it all, Doris. Pass, shoot, a special talent. Wade drives in, kicks it out to Allen. He dishes it to Chalmers. Passes it to Wade. He's against Green. A fadeaway. That's good. And the Heat lead by 1.
And Kevin, he's really solidified his role as the closer on this team. You know, Miami struggled to figure out whether they'd go to LeBron or Bosh or Wade at first. I think Wade has become the guy.
Well, I tell you what, it's nice to have 2 guys that are capable of closing, Steve. And I agree with you, though. His aggressiveness and confidence probably give him a slight edge in closing over LeBron. You can play great defense on him, but he still typically finds a way to get the shot he wants.
James. And another basket for Miami.
Really nice work inside there. He'll always give you a battle on the interior, guys.
Parker with it. And Allen picks him up defensively. Gets it to go.
The D was all over him, but they just couldn't react in time to stop that quick reverse.
Miami's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the 2nd quarter. Back to LeBron. Shot and game clock separated by 5. And they double him up with LeBron. Wade outside. Trying his luck deep. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. LeBron's got 3 assists in the game. He kicks to Green. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
9 seconds left in the first half of the game. And Chalmers kicks to Allen. Tipped away. Leonard with the steal. Can't get it to go.